There's a certain magic to the garden in September. The frantic energy of summer begins to soften, replaced by a gentle golden light and a cool whisper in the air. Many gardeners hang up their trowels, believing the season is over. But for those in the know, this is a truly special time. September is the gardener's second spring, a period of incredible opportunity, and the undisputed key to a strong, delicious fall harvest that can carry you well into the colder months. It's a time for reflection on the summer past, but more importantly, a time for action and preparation for the seasons ahead. The soil is still warm from the summer sun, but the cooling air temperatures are perfect for a whole new range of crops. It's a unique window where we can sow for the future, ensuring our gardens remain productive, beautiful, and a source of joy. So let's roll up our sleeves and explore the wealth of possibilities this month holds. We'll cover everything from enriching your soil to selecting the perfect crops, from protecting your plants from the first frosts to planning for a bountiful year ahead. Let's dive into what to plant and how to prep. Before a single seed is sown, our attention must turn to the very foundation of our garden, the soil. Your summer crops have worked hard and in the process have drawn a great deal of nutrients from the earth. September is our chance to give back, to replenish and rejuvenate the soil for the crops to come. Begin by clearing out any finished summer plants. Old beanstalks, exhausted courgette plants, and finished lettuces can all be removed. Be sure to check them for any signs of disease. Healthy material can go straight onto the compost heap, but anything with blight, mildew, or rust is best disposed of separately to prevent problems next year. Once the beds are clear, give them a thorough but gentle weeding. Now, for the most important part, adding organic matter. This is the food that will fuel your autumn and winter garden. A generous layer of well-rotted manure, or even better, your own garden compost, will work wonders. Spread a thick layer, about 2 to 3 inches deep, over the surface of the soil. There's no need for heavy back-breaking digging, which can damage the delicate soil structure and its ecosystem of worms and microorganisms. Instead, gently fork the compost into the top few inches of the soil, or simply leave it on the surface as a mulch. The worms will do the hard work for you, pulling the organic matter down into the soil over the coming weeks, improving its structure, water retention, and, most importantly, its fertility. This single act is the best investment you can make for a healthy garden. And speaking of compost, if you don't have a system already, September is the perfect time to start. All that garden clearing provides a wealth of material. A good compost pile needs a balance of greens and browns. Greens are nitrogen-rich materials like kitchen scraps, grass clippings, and the healthy annual weeds you've just pulled up. Browns are carbon-rich materials like autumn leaves, shredded cardboard, paper, and small woody prunings. Aim for a ratio of roughly 1 part green to 2 parts brown. Start your pile with a layer of twigs at the bottom for aeration, then alternate layers of your green and brown materials. Keep the pile moist, like a wrung-out sponge, and turn it with a fork every few weeks to mix it all up and introduce oxygen. In a few months, you'll have created your own Black Gold, a free, nutrient-rich soil conditioner that your plants will adore. With our soil prepped and ready, we can get to the exciting part, sowing. Let's start with the quick wins, crops that will give you a harvest in just a matter of weeks. Fast-growing salad leaves are a top priority. Varieties like spinach, radishes, and cut-and-come-again lettuce thrive in the cooler, moist conditions of autumn. They are far less likely to bolt or go to seed prematurely than in the heat of summer. Look for hardy varieties specifically bred for autumn sowing. For lettuce, try all the year round or winter density. For spinach, perpetual is a reliable choice. Sow these seeds thinly in drills, cover lightly with soil, and water them in well. With radishes like French breakfast or cherry belle, you could have a peppery crop ready to pull in as little as 4 weeks. Now, let's think longer term. September is the prime time for planting crops that will overwinter and reward you with a harvest next year. Garlic is the classic example. Planting cloves now gives them the long, cool period they need to develop into large, flavorful bulbs for next summer. You can choose between hardneck and softneck varieties. Hardnecks, like early purple white, produce a flower stalk called a scape and generally have fewer, larger cloves with a more complex flavor. Softnecks, like Solent white, tend to store better and have more smaller cloves. To plant, simply break a bulb into individual cloves, leaving the papery skin on. Plant them in a sunny, well-drained spot, about 6 inches apart and 2 inches deep, with the pointy end facing up. It feels like an act of faith, planting them as the year winds down, but one you'll be thankful for next July. Alongside garlic, consider planting overwintering onion sets. Varieties like Senshu Yellow or Radar are incredibly hardy. Planted now, they will establish a strong root system before winter, then burst into growth in early spring, giving you a harvest a month or two before spring-sown onions. Similarly, hardy broad beans, such as Aquadulce Claudia, can be sown in September. They will grow into small, sturdy plants that can withstand the winter frosts and provide you with a very early and welcome crop of tender beans next spring. Don't forget the hardy heroes that are already in your garden. If you planted brassicas like kale, Brussels sprouts, or purple sprouting broccoli earlier in the year, September is when they really come into their own. In fact, a touch of frost works wonders on these plants, converting their starches into sugars and making them taste significantly sweeter. Keep them well watered and protect them from cabbage white butterflies with fine netting. Other hardy greens like Swiss chard and perpetual spinach will also continue to produce prolifically. Regular harvesting of the outer leaves will encourage the plant to keep producing fresh new growth from the center. A productive garden isn't just about vegetables. September is also a key month for ensuring color and life through the colder months and into next spring. Plant winter-flowering pansies and violas in pots and at the front of borders for cheerful blooms that will often persist right through to spring. And of course, it's time to plant spring-flowering bulbs. Daffodils, crocuses and hyacinths are best planted now, while tulips benefit from waiting until November to reduce the risk of disease. Planting these bulbs is like burying little parcels of hope, a promise of the vibrant colors that will return after the grey of winter. As we sow these new crops, we must also think about protection. The nights are getting longer and colder, and the first frosts can arrive unexpectedly. To extend your season and protect your tender new seedlings, consider using row covers or cloches. A simple low tunnel can be made with flexible pipe or wire hoops covered with horticultural fleece. This creates a microclimate, trapping daytime warmth, protecting plants from frost, harsh winds, and even some pests. For individual plants, a classic glass or modern plastic cloche can provide excellent protection. Even a simple plastic bottle with the bottom cut off can serve as a mini greenhouse for a single lettuce plant. These simple measures can easily add another month or more to your harvesting season. The damp conditions of autumn are a paradise for slugs and snails. To protect your tender seedlings, you'll need to be vigilant. There are many organic methods you can employ. Beer traps are a classic for a reason. Slugs are attracted to the yeast, fall in and drown. A ring of coarse grit, crushed eggshells, or copper tape around the base of pots can also act as an effective deterrent. Encouraging natural predators is the best long-term solution. A small pond will attract frogs and toads, while a log pile can provide a home for hedgehogs, all of whom will happily feast on your slug population. Finally, as you clear beds and plan your new sowings, take a moment for one of the most crucial aspects of long-term garden health: planning your crop rotation. This simply means not planting the same family of vegetables in the same spot year after year. Doing so can lead to a buildup of specific pests and diseases in the soil and depletes certain nutrients. A simple 4-year rotation is easy to manage. Divide your crops into 4 main groups: legumes like peas and beans, brassicas like cabbage and kale, potatoes and tomatoes, and roots like carrots and onions. Each year you move each group to the next bed in the cycle. Grab a notebook and sketch out your garden. Make a note of what you grew where this summer and plan where each group will go next year. This simple act of planning now will prevent a world of problems later and keep your soil balanced and your garden productive. September gardening is a deeply rewarding pursuit. It's a conversation between seasons, a gentle and thoughtful process of tidying up the old and nurturing the new. It's about working with nature, not against it, embracing the changing light and the cooler air. With a little planning and preparation, your fall garden can not only survive but truly thrive, providing you with fresh homegrown food and a beautiful, tranquil space well past the first frost. It's a testament to the fact that the garden's generosity doesn't end with summer. It simply changes its tune, offering a different kind of bounty for those willing to listen and plant for the future.